Hey there, I'm Brian Nesline, psychic clairvoyant, oracle card reader. A lot of things that people ask me are, Brian, how do you tell someone's future? And in this spiritual card reading, I'm going to show you just actually how important of a role you have in the psychic reader telling you your future. Let's get into it. So one question people have asked is, Brian, how do you tell people their future? Isn't that really, a bunch of garbage? Aren't you really just, making stuff up? You don't have any power, Brian, to tell people their future. But I've also heard it the other way, like, hey, Brian, tell me my future. I believe. So what's going on with psychic reading, with future telling? So let's take a look at that. Now, when telling people their future, it's important to let you know that the future, it's not set in stone. It isn't. It's like clay. It can be molded. It can be shaped. It can be pointed. It can be directed or energetically charged. There can be a set of details of words that we use to define a future. Then there can be an emotional experience that charges up those words, and that will create a type of puzzle that is fit together in a special way from all the possible pieces, because the future is not set in stone. The future is more of an anything is possible type experience. Everything that can happen in a way, already has happened, because it's just a different rearrangement of all the puzzle pieces. Let me say it in another way. Well, Einstein did say that our imagination was more important than what we knew, because that imagination space, that includes everything we know right now and everything that we've ever known, plus everything we could ever know in the future. So, I want you to think about it like this. Think about future events, future circumstances, your personal future circumstances. Think about those as the way the alphabet is. The alphabet is made of those letters or those symbols, depending on what part of the world you're in, what language. We're just using the English alphabet right now, whatever. Alphabet is made out of those letters, but those letters are all interchangeable, move aroundable, not interchangeable. You can change the position of those letters to spell out different words. And in the same way, your future, my future, an individual's personal future is like the alphabet, but it's up to you to agree or to define it, to vote for it, to arrange the alphabet in a way that tells words and stories of what you are preferring. By doing that, you're going to be molding that clay of the letters and the stories and the circumstances. You're going to be energetically impregnating it. Did you use that word, Brian? You're going to be energetically infusing it with emotion so that it can be put into motion and then show up as a reflection of your personal future. Now, anybody can do this. So if I was to tell you your future, what am I really doing? I'm formulating the anything is possible place. I'm coming up with a set of words and a story. And then I'm sharing it with you energetically. And if you buy into it, if you believe in it, then it will break through into the world and be a part of your personal future. That's what this shows here. She's back here in the dark blue space. This is the third eye indigo space. Hasn't emerged out to the light of day yet. Hasn't traveled through this. Think about this as like a tunnel of time. So right now we're in the dark, or the dark blue, the inside space back here, looking up towards the light of the future and preferring what we want. Now, if you have someone like me tell you your personal future, then it's just going to be about you agreeing with it. And then that belief that will instill the possibility of it. Remember, like Jesus back in the Bible time, he couldn't really perform a miracle unless the other person agreed. Remember this. People would come up and they'd say like, yo, Jesus, just say the word and I know my son will be healed. And then that like guy's kid who was sick or something went ahead and like, he took wellness that moment, says the servants. Another one, like Jesus was like, do you believe that I can do this? And they said, yes. So then it was done. And he said, hey, it's going to be done unto you. Jesus was like, I didn't really do it. He's like, it was done unto you according to your belief. Your belief. So, you want to get with people, if you're going to allow somebody else to tell your future, think about this. Make sure you're with people that are looking at the light. Oh yeah, why do I say that? Because looking at the light just means that they see the light, that anything is possible. And they want to bring the white light, the absolute good, the highest good, to you so that you can believe and have that be the thing you receive in your future. Okay, so now we realize that the future is not set in stone. We realize that we're going to have to be responsible for what we hold in our mind and our heart. What's that mean? Heart and mind means with our emotion, our heart, and our mind, our words. We are responsible. We're able to respond. Not responsible like, it's your fault, responsibility. No, we're talking about the light. Come on, be with I am here in the light. Come on, be with I am, that I am is the light. Come on, be and have that breakthrough. Get out of that night of thinking there's two powers. There's not. There's one power of absolute good. This is beyond duality. I'm talking about beyond good versus evil of the world, or really, which is just the knowledge of things being in opposition. I'm talking about the fact that there's one God, one source, one light. That is permeating and animating everything. It's omnipresent. Okay, so we have that breakthrough. We know that there's just one light. Great. Now what? We want to pick things that are really bright, that you want in your future. If you pick those things, you're going to have a better chance of getting what you really are super excited about. But now some people say, Brian, like, I can't believe that it's possible. Now that's the key. We have to change our inner beliefs, our inner dialogue, and that's where a psychic reader can really help you. That's where a life coach psychic reader, an intuitive psychic reader, an empath psychic reader can really help. Help to lead you out of that dark thinking that you have. Be a light to help you burn away that garbage of the dark, of the fears, of the negative projections, negative ideas, the evil ones. Let's get rid of those because they're just a thought pattern, a thought system that you just don't need. And you don't want them there because you'll accidentally do what? We are susceptible to accidentally create or vote for a dark thing with our light. Jesus said it in the Bible. Again with the Bible, huh? Okay. Jesus said, don't use your light for darkness. What did he mean? He can mean a lot of things out of that, but let's just look at why we're talking about it. Don't use the light of this one power that will animate whatever you ask it to. Don't use that light to make a dark thing, to give it dark words and to say like illness, disease, loss. Don't do it. Look, if you're with a reader, listen, if you're with somebody that's spinning a story, spinning a web of darkness, of loss, that's fine. They could be picking up on what you have in your conscious space. little things that are bubbling up to help you see what needs to be reimagined or refined. But be careful. Look at how I'm even saying it. Be careful. No, all I mean is you're not obligated to invest your faith, your belief, into dark stories, even if someone's telling you that it's going to happen. Especially if they're saying it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Because that's a red flag right there. This tells you that they're not really understanding that anything can happen. Perhaps now what they mean is, right now with the set of data that you're working with in your heart and mind, you're on a path for it to turn out this way, which makes it look like it's all dark and crappy. And that's a good point. We want to expose our thinking and our beliefs, our deeper stuff, so that we can work it through, change it, alchemize it shamanistically, convert it to the light, make it something that we can believe in. I won't carry darkness because that's a big old bunch of garbage. Let's go find a way to get the light, light, light. How do the cards come out like this? I love when they do. Ooh, why am I singing? I'm singing because that song is the playful, the let go, the light bright, the little happy, logic free, spirited flow. That's why. Because, again, we want to go up to the light. We want to use the light to be able to expose any dark thinking, any of our lost thinking, or any of our true motives. So readers can help us with that. And a lot of times if you get a scary reading, it's based on that. It can be. So look, the bottom line of it all, though, really is that you are always going to have an interactive play and an interactive say with what this future holds for you. And that's why I'm here. That's why my whole YouTube channel exists. What? To help other people wake up spiritually, to help them wake up spiritually, meaning get out of their self. What's that? Their self, not their spirit, their self. They want to wake up out of their self. Their self is all of their beliefs, their words, their ideas of what's happened before, what they believe in, what they're stuck believing in. And it's not really stuck, it's just immersed. What they're immersed in based on their words, based on their emotions, and based on what other people have told them, what they buy with their belief system. So, if you can get up out of that belief system, you're going to be where we are. Jesus said it. He's like, Father, I don't want you to take them off of the earth, but instead I'm asking they might be where we are, up here in Spiritville. Come and live with all of us in the spiritual fellowship. Look at me talk so darn fast. Who gives a crap if I do? Not me. Nobody who is in the spirit gives a crap what I am saying. They can feel the freedom of the flow of the what? The flow of the no. And they can intuitively know that what I'm talking about is simply spiritual fellowship, spiritual king and queenship. What's that? The king and the queen's ship. Your spirit, your consciousness. What am I saying? The king is the divine masculine or the words. The queen is the divine feminine or the light, the emotion. The words and the emotion are in love together inside of you, inside of your spiritual body. Do you want to have a spiritual life? Are you willing to be born a second time? Again, not to quote the Bible. Dang, it's very Bible-y here today. It's raining outside behind me. Let me see. Is it? Turn it around. Show me, Brian. It's raining back there, but it's raining down the Bible verses here. Whoa! See, there's no reason to have a belief of a resentment or a negative thing about the Bible. Just forget about all that. Use it for good. Just use the parts you can use. So look, I forgot what I was saying. That sucks. Yeah, and now this is a good point though. Watch, maybe it'll come back around. I forgot what I was saying. Why? Because I moved my awareness, my spiritual consciousness, over to another facet of data from the world of the self around me. And so when I'm on that, that's where my focus is. And that means I'm outside of the other parts of myself, that whatever thing I was talking about before. But it'll come back. It was something Jesus said, ooh, there it is. It came back. Or see, what happened was I went down into the world, into myself. What I was saying was, Jesus said, I don't want you to take them out of the self, out of the world so much. Don't take them off earth. But I want them to be where we are, up here in Spiritville. So see, it just happened to me. I went from Spiritville, my conscious contact with God. I went down into the resentments about Bible verses, and then I got stuck in there for a minute in the world. And then I was able to come back around somehow and back up to my spiritual space. This is what we want to do. We want to be able to know that we go into the world and we come out of the world. Jesus said it. He's like, I lay my life down, I pick it back up. I lay it down, and I pick it back up. So it depends. Where are you going to live? We got to live in both worlds, in the world of the spirit and the world of the self. We want to live 51% up here in Spiritville so that we can program ourselves for what we prefer. All right, so we're going to use our light to create the type of divine masculine king and divine feminine queenship that we prefer. And then we're going to let go of that. And God, source, universe is automatically, this is the best part, it just automatically happens. You can forget it. Especially, you have to forget it. You can't mess with it up here. You have to let it go and go back down to earth and go along your day-to-day life on the other details. That caused you to forget the thing you wished for. And it's in the forgetting that we're giving it up to God. It's in the forgetting that it makes it so simple. God just makes it happen. And it's just that true. Now look, do you believe what I just said? Ooh, why did I tell a future like that where you're able to just imagine and feel something and then let it go and focus on some other stuff? Pretty simple. Why did I simplify this God manifestation system of telling your future? Why? Because I want you to be empowered to go and fish for yourselves, right? And a lot of you are. You're fishing for yourself anyway. And I'm just here reminding you how awesome it is to help others fish for themselves so that we don't define other people's reality in a way that could be dark or in a way that could cause them to become dependent on us to always keep defining or giving them future telling. Not necessary. And they're going to come to us anyway because they're going to know that they can trust us with the light, and they want us to work with them to get past their blocks or the ideas that they aren't yet able to believe in. Some people come to me, they're like, Brian, I want a really great relationship, but I've been hurt in the past. So I don't believe that it's possible. So they can come to me, and what will I do? I will help them to see that anything is possible. I'll help them to rearrange the data in their self as we sift through that together, spiritual fellowship. I'm a spiritual coach, a reader and an intuitive and an empath too. We'll work with their psychic space. We will create a state of grace, meaning unmerited favor, so that God will simply then grant the increase of what they're looking for. So if you ever want to work with me, let's pluck some yummy, yummy goody goods from that tree of life that you might want, the fruits of your personal choices in your life that you want to see come to pass in the world. Anyhow, nobody's really telling your future so much as you are agreeing to the future that you are perceiving or imagining. And that's an important thing to learn to operate, is that spiritual vehicle that we are driving ourselves around in all day long. Take care. Thank you for being a part of this video. Ooh, leave me some comments. You can find me through Facebook. You'll see my details down there in the description. If you want to work together, it doesn't really cost much. Please subscribe, please hit the bell, please share the video, please help the channel grow or not, whatever. Help build a bridge if you feel like there's value here. Take care, thank you again, and goodbye.